All right, we good. We
Let's get it.
do it like this. All right, y'all. What's good with y'all? It's your boy Glow Pierre. I'm back with another stream, and today, I got another banger for y'all. Today, I got a collab stream with my guy Lean Rockstar. Y'all
Yes,
know
sir. What's good, man?
he got to introduce himself. Go ahead, tell him who you are.
Shit, my name Lean Rockstar. I do black pill content. Basically centers around looks and how much they play into the dating market. Boy invited me today to get into that and kind of like go into more detail because this is a relatively new theory that's been going around. The red pill basically been taking over, and I'm black pill gang. So we ready to go ahead and step our foot in the dating market and show guys the different side of things.
All right, and again, I got thank you for coming on, taking the time out your day. I really appreciate it. You feel me?
Oh yeah, no
So
problem, gang. I appreciate you inviting me on, gang.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, first and foremost, I want to tell you this. I first figured out who you were like a couple years back when you were making those other videos.
Uh-huh.
Bro, it's so funny because I didn't even have TikTok. Right? I never had TikTok. My friends would actually send me the videos to our group chat and we were all laughing. I'm like, it was hilarious. So I just think it's crazy how shit comes around full circle. And I'm actually on a live stream, we chilling, we talking about some, self-improvement and getting people better. And
Right.
yeah, it's crazy.
I
But
appreciate you tapping in from the beginning, gang, because
yeah,
everybody
yeah,
know that's been tapped in with me from the beginning. That the type of content that I did before when we was trying to make ourselves, a brand name when it comes to them
yeah,
sponsorships and stuff. You had to go clean, especially when I got into YouTube. I was like, okay, there's certain words you can't use. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and switch the content up and actually help people. If I can entertain y'all saying crazy stuff, why couldn't I help y'all? You know what I mean? So that's
exactly.
basically the journey I've been on so far. I appreciate you tapping in with that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I kind of want to get into that a little more. I wanted to ask you what, besides that, what made you want to get into self improvement? Make you want to start telling
Uh,
people, telling guys to get better?
so basically, I got banned a couple times on TikTok for doing the type of content I used to do, and this around the
Mm-hmm.
time my daughter was just being born. My daughter's 1 year old now. Shout out to Zoe, you get what I'm saying? But she
Exactly.
turned one, and I was just kind of like, okay, so what's the legacy I'm gonna leave for her? When her friends show her my videos, I'd rather her show some self improvement when I'm helping people, as opposed to I could easily troll and sell my soul and get the fame. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I said this, I'd rather just organically be myself and make my daughter proud. That was the biggest thing for me. Is like I got to put on for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I can't be over
Mm-hmm.
here just wilding out like that no more, especially when I got, a child to take care of.
Exactly. Respect. I see y'all coming in here. Yo, what's good with y'all? What's good, Mikey? What's good, Kobe? See, my man's was just talking about that. That's what we were just talking about. And basically, wanting to do something bigger, leave a greater impact. And that's something I can relate to. I mean, I don't got no kids or anything, but I do have a Kobe jersey on my wall. And every time I look at Kobe, he left behind the mama mentality, grinding, working for whatever you want. So every day I wake up, I look at the jersey, and with my YouTube and whatever, I'm trying to leave behind a message. You feel me? Leave behind a
Right.
legacy. Because it's the internet, shit lives on forever. So 20 years, 15 years, 30 years down the road, this message, you could be long gone. The message will still be here. You feel me? So every day it's about improving yourself, leaving behind a legacy, a brand, a message for people who need it. You feel me?
I'm right
So
there. I'm right there with you, bro. I like the Kobe reference too, because like you said, bro, his mentality was on another level. I don't have a Kobe jersey, but you might have just gave me an idea, gang. I might have to go ahead put that Mamba jersey right there on the wall. I ain't gonna lie.
exactly. You feel me? Every
Yeah,
day I wake up, I look straight at it. It's time to go to work. You feel me? So
yeah.
what's good, fam? Said, what's thoughts on his sounds going viral? What's your thoughts on your sounds going viral?
It's funny, but at the same time, when you're trying to like rebrand, I made a video about this on TikTok. When you're trying to
Mhm.
rebrand and them sounds go viral, it's crazy. But my biggest thing was I ain't never really got credit for it. Like I seen people like Tony Lopez, Noah Beck duetting it, and I ain't even getting no tags. So like that clip has been going around. People getting millions of views, and if I had got my proper recognition for all of that, bro, I could easily have like 1,000 more subs. So I'm basically playing catch up because that sound has been crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I ain't even much get credit for it. It's just some random dude saying that phrase. So
For sure, I feel you. And for everybody that's watching, if y'all got any type of questions, comments, whatever, just go ahead, drop them in the comments. We're gonna try and get to everyone. We got some time. So and it's a cool time. It's a chill. We on chill vibes. So
yes, sir.
yeah. So we kind of already answered the first question. Or you know what? Let me spin it around because I asked you what made you want to start making self improvement videos, but
Mhm.
what was the catalyst for your own self-improvement journey? You feel me?
So basically, I was in like a long-term relationship, for about like
Mm-hmm.
5 years, and then I got out of that, and I pretty much realized, I don't know if you ever been in a long-term before, but if you're not
Oh
careful,
yeah.
you could lose yourself within a relationship because you're more so thinking about how to make her happy, and sometimes you can, totally get off of that. So when I got back into the single market, when I got back into the game after getting out of a relationship, I was like, damn, I was like a newborn baby. I was like, I got to get on my self
Yeah.
improvement, work on my fashion, work on my look. That's why I'm so big into looks max and like changing your look. I had to do all of that. So that's basically was the catalyst. It's kind of like being a single man and kind of looking around and saying, okay, what aspects of myself do I need to improve? And once it worked out for me, then I could go talk about it and help other people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And all my subs, y'all already know my story. It's kind of the same thing as yours. I was it was a year ago, right? I had just got out of a relationship. It was like a 2 year one, almost 2 years, and I was down bad. You feel me? I was down atrocious. Y'all know how heartbreak is. Y'all know how it go.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta speak on it, but the way I was feeling at that time, I didn't want anybody to feel like that. Um, I was watching these videos, these self-improvement videos. I was watching Jordan Green, Cole Hastings, my guy Rami, and I was watching all these guys, and they were helping me. And I was like, I can do the same thing. You feel me? If they can do it, why can't I? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I don't want anybody to feel like how I'm feeling right now. So why not turn this and spin this around, turn it to a positive? You feel me? So ever since that point, not only have I been on my own journey, but I've been kind of documenting it through my videos and trying to put people on and grow with my audience. You feel me?
Right.
So
Yeah. I looked at your videos and streams too, and I was like, man, this dude has, that's why I was excited to come on here. Cause I was like, you be talking about that real stuff on your streams. I tapped into a few of them just to see, and you a
yeah,
great host, dog, and you doing your thing. So I already know you got great things coming on your channel as well, man.
yes, sir. Appreciate you. You
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Second part is what's your favorite self-improvement tip? That's a good question. I never really thought about my favorite, but if you got any favorite tips, go ahead, put us
I'd
together.
say looks. We're in a materialistic, 3D world. Like people are not looking past. We're not looking on the inside no more. With online dating, with Tinder, with everything, we're all worried about looks. So I tell every guy that email me, let's try to get you to that next tier of looks first, because when you do that, it becomes much easier. If you see how girls operate with guys who look attractive and actually care about their looks, as opposed to the guys who go the game route, don't really care about their looks, the treatment is significantly different. I've seen this live in action. And when I tell my guys this and they just focus on their looks and then do everything, I mean, you still gonna go to the gym, you still gonna get on your money, and you still gonna try to work on your status. But if you let the fundamentals be the looks, it's massively different. You feel a lot more confident, and your results show. So I would say, look, work on your looks.
Yeah. My answer is kind of I mean, it is a part of looks. Mine would be, look right here, y'all lift weights, is working out. Huge believer in working out, man. Lifting weights, especially, that's like my bread and butter. Is something that takes me off, like take my mind off, a lot of shit I got going on. And I believe every dude, if you're physically capable, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got no disabilities, no nothing. If you're physically capable, bro, you should be working out. And it doesn't even mean like bench press and lift the weights, push-ups, pull-ups, like just anything. You feel me? You got
Mm-hmm.
space right here. You can do some squats. You don't got to be in the gym to work out and to be in shape. So my favorite tip, the one that I apply, I mean, I apply most of them every day, but the one that's like my go-to, you know what I'm saying, is working out, lifting weights. That's my thing. So
I'm right there with you on that. I'm right there with you on that. To piggyback
yes,
off
sir.
what you were saying, we call that gym maxing. So I recommend gym maxing all the time. I tell guys, if you try to think you're gonna go out here without getting no exercise, and like you said, they think you got to be like Arnold and get bodybuilder size, and it could be something that's gonna run on that treadmill, burn a few pounds, and maybe lift some light weights. There's so many different types of exercise. You ain't got to
Yeah.
box yourself to heavy lifting. So I agree with you on that one, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so for y'all that's just not coming in, whatever. My guy Lean, he specializes in black pill. And me personally, I don't know if you've seen my video on black pill. It was like earlier this year. I think I have like 2 or 3. But basically, I was saying how I don't really agree with too much of what they saying, right? I don't really
Mm-hmm.
agree with the whole like the notion that I see whenever I research black pill or come across black pill content is you are what you are, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like the way I look at it is there's no room to grow. I feel like every guy, every man has room to improve. You know what I'm saying? If you were born ugly, which I don't believe anybody is inherently ugly, You feel me? Like
Yeah.
everybody looks whatever. You know, you can always do something like you said to look smack. You can always do something to improve. If you don't like the way you look, you know what I'm saying? If you have yellow teeth, man, get you some Colgate, some you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hit the gym if you're fat, you know what I'm saying? Get better clothes. There's always things you can do to improve yourself. You feel me? So I guess kind of elaborate on that. I don't know if you've really paid attention to that side of black pill, like guys just saying like, you know, how you look is how you look, and there's no even use to changing it, because if you change it, it's just cope.
Right.
Speak on that.
Okay, so those guys, what we're talking, so there's different sects of the black pill. I like to fall more in the casual side where I think there's hope for everybody. But then you have what we call doomers, and that's who you're talking about. And the doomers find out about Chad and Tyrone, and they don't feel like putting in any work. They don't want to improve nothing. So they're just like, well, if I'm not born a Chad or Tyrone, then I can never get to that level. And I literally seen guys who were overweight, lose weight, work on their style, grow their hair out, get a nice hairstyle, and they're in that Chad and Tyrone range. So I'm against the theory that it's impossible for you to at least get to the next tier. You know what I'm saying? I think you can always improve. I don't fall on that. Like, even if you watch my content on TikTok, on YouTube, I try to make it fun. Like, I'll throw like basketball jokes. I'm not on the serious side of black pill. And I think that's why a lot of people ask me for advice, because I like put it in a way that doesn't sound like, well, if you're not Chad or Tyrone, you're doomed. Because I don't agree with that. I feel like you could really improve. So I try to stay away from doomer territory, and I just stay where it's like everyone else, whether you red pilled or black pilled, you just trying to help your game get to the next level. You know, like the red pill, they say self-improvement. They never say it's over. You know, we don't do that. You know, the right people that's doing the black pill, we don't do that either. It be them dudes that don't got no profile picture, don't show their face in the camera, that be saying that. But I show my face. I'm brave enough to show my face on the camera. Because a lot of black pillars don't want to put their face on the camera. I'm like, well, how you going to critique and say this and you're not willing to take critique yourself? So that's why I always made it a goal with black pill to put my face in the camera so I could get critique too, you know, so I can show you guys that I'm with you. I'm not against you. So for what you said, I don't agree with that. It's over type of mentality when it comes to the black pill.
Exactly. That's really the biggest, you know what I'm saying? If I think about more, I'll probably think about some other things I don't agree with, because, you know, the main reason I got you on the stream is so we can talk about different things and, you know, see similarities, differences, and whatever, and come to understanding. But that was really the main thing I had an issue with. You know, like, I can't stand dudes, bro. I can't stand dudes that just don't put in any type of work. You feel me? It's like, what are you doing? You feel me? It's like a waste of space. What are you doing? If you're able, bro, you should always try. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with trying, bro. You can't fail if you don't try. You can't succeed if you don't try. Always try. It doesn't matter what it is. Always try. You feel me?
That's real, bro.
Exactly. Let me ask you this though. So, you know, you would consider yourself a part of the black pill community. You feel me? Right? You consider yourself somebody that's been in the black pill community for how long? A while?
I say I'm going on like 5 months now. I'm still growing. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that people normally go searching for, so it's still in the minority as far as information goes. So yeah, I'd say about like 5 months now. I'm not the best, but I'm definitely I consider myself in the mid. I got a good amount of knowledge.
For sure. What's the main difference? Like, I don't know if you went through a red pill phase. Like, did you go through the red pill to get to the black pill? Like, talk about that.
I don't think it's possible to transition from blue pill to thinking that, you know, she's the one and all of that to going all the way to black pill. I think red pill is the middle, and we all gonna hit that red pill. You go through something like that, you're gonna catch one of these people talking that mess on a red pill and stuff like that. And I was doing that for a while. I was on that red pill. I had red pill rage. I was like, you know, hey, if I become a high value man, I'm gonna run it up on these girls and stuff like that. But I feel like it's missing a crucial element, and you can't give that advice to just anyone because everyone looks different. So if you give a guy that's maybe like a 4 in rating the advice that don't even worry about your face, don't try to fix nothing else, bro. Just go to the gym and make money, and you could be a 4 and bag a 10. That's just not how it works. And I know the way they make it seem when they speak on the red pill, they make it sound so possible. You get what I'm saying? Like, but you have to account for looks, and that's my biggest thing with the red pill is that I agree with all the self-improvement. I definitely agree with not trusting women in 2022. I'm on that. But as far as we disagree is the looks aspect of it, face to be specific. You know, you can go to the gym and bulk up, which we always agree with. But at the same time, too, maybe, and I don't mean go get facial surgery, but maybe like growing a goatee, growing a beard, and maybe getting a nice hairstyle. That could go towards your face points, too, is what I always say. So just don't ignore the face. And I feel like that's better because you could like adjust for it a little bit. You could say, okay, this is where if you're honest with yourself, like if I were to give myself an honest rating and hear what they're saying, I can make adjustments on my game plan based off of how I look instead of just not taking looks into consideration. Because a lot of these guys are saying something where this will only work for Chads and Tyrones. This ain't working for the other tiers. So we kind of got to adjust that a little bit before we start giving everybody advice. Not one piece of advice can work for everybody. That's why in the black field, we at least like separate some things into tiers so guys can kind of figure out, okay, I'm here, motivated to go to there instead of just this broad everybody eats. It don't matter what you look like, don't matter if you're overweight, just go to the gym, make money, and then you're good. I just feel like you can't ignore something as important as face. I didn't know if you disagreed with that or not, but what's your thoughts on face?
Man, look, I feel like as a dude, it's important. Like you can't neglect your face, right? It's impossible to neglect your face. You know what I'm saying? If you got cute, like bad acne, yellow teeth, whatever, you can't ignore that. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's dirty. You don't want to look here. It doesn't matter if it's with women. You just go on public if you're dealing with business. If you're at your job, you don't want to appear crusty. You want to appear musty. You should always be taking care of your face. You know what I'm saying? Trimming your nose hairs. Making sure your lips are smooth, not cracked, making sure your teeth are white, making sure your skin is nice and smooth, it's glowing. You know what I'm saying? So always take care of yourself any way possible. I did want to ask you a question because this is something that's going around a lot in the self-improvement community, dating, red pill type room, you feel me? Now, you say we're talking about face, we're talking about looks. One thing that a lot of people say is looks don't matter or looks aren't everything. What's your stance on that? Do you think looks are everything? Do you think they're a part of the equation? They're not everything. What do you think about that?
So I usually separate that in two different boxes. Now, if we're talking about a single dating market, you're just dating around, you're not trying to get in a relationship, looks are everything, because at this point, we're not trying to vet each other out for personality. Everybody in 2022 around our age, they're just trying to catch bodies, move on to the next, make the most money. So in the single dating market, I say looks are pretty much everything. I say money can help you and stuff like that, but when you're just talking about being a single man, looks do. But when it comes to relationships, that's when I agree that looks can probably only get you in the door, because we're talking about forever here. And it's only a matter of time before those looks don't do the trick no more. So that charm and that same level of effect, I don't believe can just carry you through an entire relationship. So, and for a relationship sense, I think that looks are still pretty important, but not at the top. I would say when it comes to relationships, money is at the top, because we're talking about sustainability, having a family. So that's stuff that's going to have to be into play. Then your occupation is going to matter. But when it comes to being single, that's where I'm mostly talking about when I talk about looks, because a lot of us are single, or a lot of the guys that, on my channel are single. And that's where the looks, I would say, are pretty much at the top. I've seen a lot of guys that are Chads and Tyrones that work at Popeye's Chicken and messing with bad tens. You know what I mean? Maybe not for the long term, but they're still able to pull them. So I basically just separated into those two different directions.
That's really interesting, because usually when I ask that question, or usually whenever I see it, I don't hear people break it down into two different, categories. It's usually just lumped into one. Now, I agree with you. Looks in the relationship sense, like looks aren't everything. You know what I'm saying? Like if we trying to go long term, if you trying to be with somebody for the rest of your life, bro, y'all gonna be old one day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be old. Y'all gonna be wrinkly. The looks aren't gonna be there. You feel me? You can't just be with somebody for looks for 60, 70 years plus, right? So at a certain point, you can't say looks are everything. But I definitely do see where you come from. I agree with you. Like if you just trying to mess around, fool around with some girls, whatever. Like, it's going to looks are pretty much, you know what I'm saying? If you're not really trying to know somebody, if it's really only, for a fling or whatever, it really, you know what I'm saying? Like looks are really the only thing that's going to matter type shit. You feel me?
I did want to throw in as well that when it comes to looks, this really didn't start becoming prevalent until the success of online dating. This is where a lot of guys, I tell guys this all the time. You want to know how superficial shit is? Excuse my language. I ain't gonna cuss on stream, but
you good.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know. Get on Tinder, make an account, and you'll see real quick where you stand. That's why I say you want to see where you land on the scale. Make a Tinder, because these girls on Tinder don't care anything about your personality. It's just you look good, it's a swipe. You don't look good, it's a swipe. And girls have developed this mentality and used it in real life, where they're just swiping on God, not even giving them a chance. If you don't cross the looks threshold, they're just gonna keep it pushing.
That's facts. That's facts. What you think about this? For a woman's survival, she doesn't need beauty from him as much as the man does. She will settle for leadership qualities and trade good looks.
Trade good looks? Yeah. Are we saying in the sense of like a relationship or in general?
I think we talking about I'm gonna assume relationship. So like,
okay. I would have to agree that long term. I think that long term would definitely warrant a girl to, she's looking for those leadership qualities. But I will say that even if you are, say you do have those leadership qualities and you're not in that Chad and Tyrone range, you're not safe from infidelity. A lot of girls, they're cured to this. They have a guy that they want to be with. They know they're secure. So what they'll do is, no, I'm not going to leave you, but I will. If I do come across a Chad or Tyrone, I will go ahead and cheat. And I'm pretty sure you can agree, especially if you've ever been on red pill, that this does happen. And normally these girls aren't going to risk their entire relationship for a normal guy or a sub 5. They're definitely going to risk it for a Chad and Tyrone. It'd be like one of those things where I think it was not too long ago where this guy was talking trash to Drake. And I know Drake is an extreme example. I just like to use him. They were talking trash to Drake. He DM'd his wife and his wife immediately DM'd him back. He got on there and started, getting upset. Oh, yeah. And that's that Tyrone treatment. So yeah, she'll look for the leadership qualities, but that doesn't mean that you're safe. And no one's safe from infidelity, but I definitely say that the Chads and Tyrones are the safest from infidelity. So never think that, okay, well, I'm providing her this just because I have this amount of money, that a guy that looks better than me with less money couldn't take my girl simply because I'm more valuable. That's not how it works.
That's facts.
So I always like to clear that up.
That's facts. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now, earlier, like 5 minutes ago, we were talking about, in a relationship, the things that, priorities like money and then looks or whatever. How would you rank that if you can? Like, what would you say is like from a list from 1 to whatever, right? What's the highest up, the shit that matters the most in a long-term relationship, to bottom out?
Okay, so I'd say money, because you have to sustain. So money, and then I'll go ahead and go looks, and then I go personality, and I say personality last because there's such thing as a halo effect. I don't know if anyone in the stream is familiar with it, but I'll go ahead and say what it is. And it's basically where the theory where the more attractive you are, the positive traits will be attributed to it. Like, it's like that meme, flirting versus harassment. When a Chad or Tyrone does it, that's flirtation. But when a sub 5 normie does that same exact flirting, says the same exact words, he's creepy. The content of what he said didn't change. The only thing that changed was the physical appearance. It's like a domino effect. So I always say that. So I would say, money, looks, then personality. Because if you look good and you have the money, this is where you see these guys where they've been cheating on their wives for 35 years and they have not went anywhere, because not only do they look good, but they got the money. That combination right there for relationships is good. And as long as you have basic social skills, I always say this as personality, meaning you're not just a complete jerk and you're not telling her to shut up and make you sandwiches. Like, you're still a nice guy, upstanding citizen. I think that personality could fall kind of last there. And looks and money being first, and then looks.
That's interesting. So money's number 1. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I quite agree with that, because I can think of instances. I mean, obviously, like, everything is relative, just different, specific instances. You feel me? I would say, if I were to rank it, right? Let me start with that. I'd say for a long-term relationship, right? Like, let's say you meet somebody, y'all talking, and you trying to, long-term type shit. So I would say number 1 is, I would say your looks get you in the door. I say looks number 1. I don't know if I want to put personality 2. I would say 1A, 1B type shit. You feel me? It's the only reason why you would even give somebody a chance, if we're gonna keep it a buck, is looks. Looks get you in the door, right? You feel me?
Yeah.
So, but it's the personality, whatever, that's gonna keep them around. I can meet, a girl super bad, 10 out of 10 looks. She's hitting every whatever for me, and then she's annoying, right? Or I don't fuck with her. She gone? You feel me? If I can't gel, if we can't have that chemistry, it's over with type shit. You feel me? So I don't know about putting, and at that point, it wouldn't even matter her job. It wouldn't even matter how much she makes or whatever the money. It's like, if I can't get along with you, because if we talk about long-term, your time, that's an investment, right?
Right.
I mean, that's an investment. Time is the most valuable resource. So if it's something as important as time, like how much time I'm gonna be spending with you, I gotta be able to click. We gotta be able to vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I would put, me personally, I would put personality. Fuck it, I'm gonna put it number 1. Nah, I can't do that. I'll put looks 1, personality 2, and I'll put money 3rd. Because think about this. If we talking about, it also depends. If we're gonna, the way you rank money also depends on how old you are type shit, right?
Good point.
If you like a young adult, if you like 19, 20, 21, obviously you're not gonna be making, 99% of us aren't gonna be making 6 figures plus whatever type shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Most girls aren't really expecting that. I mean, of course, with social media and shit, whatever, expectations are skewed. But for most people, you're not gonna be going into a relationship expecting your partner to be making 100K plus, 7 figures, whatever, right? So I would say as you get older, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30 plus, money does go up higher and higher, because at that age, it's like family time. You feel me? You really trying to settle down. You're really trying to, you got to be able to sustain, put food on the table, right? But it does depend on the age you date. So if we talking like, I don't know, early 20s, like I said, I would say money does have to be last.
I like that. You made a good point. I never really thought of it in that sense, but you're right. You have to break that down in ages, because there's so many guys. While you said that, I'm gonna piggyback off of you, because there's so many guys that you'd be those finance social media creators that'll show their lives. They're in Paris, they got all this money, and they're only 21. And I notice there's a lot of guys that'll email me depressed because they 21 not making 6 figures. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. We in real life. Ain't nobody expecting you to be making those 6 figures at 21, 19, 20 years old, man.
Exactly. And then like that's just not, social media has this perception on you gotta get rich quick, you gotta do this, you gotta have all this money at this age and like whatever, but that's just not how it works. You feel me? That's just, especially for dudes, especially for guys, you're not gonna hit your financial peak until you like mid-30s, 40s, whatever, as you're more established in your careers and whatever, as you get older, right? So it's just not realistic for guys. So I'd say as you get older, you know what I'm saying? As you get to that age where it's time to settle down, you can't be out here wilding, which is different for everybody. But for most guys, I'm going to say that's like 30 plus. Then you got to be having money, because you don't want to be broke and you trying to start a family. That's just not going to end well. So, but we was talking about that. We got some comments. So, women need something deeper than your physical features. She needs masculine energy and emotional intelligence. Women are logical. That rank implies they are logical. If women were logical, they'd be much better at being healthy, being in healthy feelings. Relationships. Looks is number 3 for women.
I disagree with that. I disagree that looks are number 3 for women. I think even when it comes to mating, we have a primal instinct to go for the most attractive being. This is why you'll see, look at a girl's baby daddy and look at the stepdad. Who always looks better? Let's be honest. The guy that's not putting in the work, the guy that's not, that guy, and, the guy that obviously looks better than the stepdad is the one that ended up getting her pregnant. Because whether we want to deny it or not, we always want, like for us, we want a badder female. Like you could have a girl and see another girl and be like, oh, well, I want a badder female. Girls do the same thing. I'll tell you why girls virtue signal and don't tell the truth to guys about looks, because unfortunately, it's not their fault. I don't ever blame women for this. It's just we can't handle the truth. Guys like me and you probably could, but when you tell a guy that looks matter, they're like, what in the world are you talking about? You're telling me that girls do the same thing we do? Well, think about that logically. We're both human beings, but pretty much the same train of thought. Yes, they look for looks too. But if they get on their Snapchat and say, hey, I'm only don't DM me unless you're an attractive guy, are they still going to get those birthday cash apps? Are they going to get them OnlyFans subscriptions? Absolutely not. So they have no choice. It's not their fault. Like I said, when it comes to the red pill, I have no bone to pick in this fight. As a black pillar, I'm Switzerland. You win your own individual battles. I'm non-biased. I'm not on the war side of things. So I definitely think that women have points too. And that should be guys can't handle the truth. So I don't blame them when they virtue signal. I know exactly why they do it. I'm sure if they can get on here and say that we care about looks and guys not call them a 304 or try to bash them, they would do it. But they have a brand to protect. And unfortunately, to protect that, they can't tell guys the truth. And that's what I'm here for. They definitely care about looks.
I hear you. This would be the ranking. 1, social game, aka ability to talk / flirt with women. 2, high status because of social approval. And then looks would be number 3. What do you think about this? Like the number 1, number 2? Like what do you think?
Flirt with women. So game is first. I disagree with game being first. But high status. Now, high status, let's talk about high status, because I call this status maxing. And I say, when it comes to looks, status maxing, obviously, it's the most difficult thing. That's what we're doing right now. We grinding at YouTube, trying to do that. We know that this is the hardest thing, but the payoff is one of the best ones. This is where you can get situations like, and not to be offensive, I'm going to just use some examples here. You get examples like Draymond Green and his current wife, where normally guys in Draymond Green's situation would, if, say, for instance, I got millions of dollars, but I don't have status, and I get with a girl and I'm not an attractive guy, she's not going to give me that same type of love that Chads and Tyrone's get, because I don't get that. I don't cross that looks threshold. But if I have status is what, it doesn't matter how you look. If you have status, they perceive you. It's like, I don't know what it is, bro. It's like voodoo. They see you as a chatter Tyrone. I always tell guys, if you're just trying to skip everything, if you just want to say forget everything else and you just want to go straight forward, status is the way to go. So I agree. Status could be, you can put status anywhere because it's such like an X factor, but it's so hard to acquire. So that's why I always say that the status is such an X factor. But I'd say game can never be first because I already explained the halo effect. Like if you're an attractive guy, you ever been around a girl, and I'm sure you have, bro, where you're not even trying to be charming, you're just being your regular self and she's smiling, you're the funniest guy in the world, you're not spitting no game whatsoever. That's the halo effect. If you look good, your very existence will be seen as attractive. You get what I'm saying? Or game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Number one reason why men are getting laid is because they are not being social enough, which is facts. You know what I'm saying? That's true. You know, ever since the whole pandemic started, everybody's like inside more. Nobody's really, you know, going out, and even that stuff are opening back up. You know, people are more like hesitant, and you know, because of the whole everything that's going on. So yeah, that's facts. Let me ask you this. I have a question for you earlier. When we were talking about red pill and black pill and your journey to the black pill. What was like the moment where because you were in the red pill community for a little bit, right? You know, red pill rage, all that, you know, everybody can relate to that. But what was like the exact moment where you were like, nah, this ain't for me. I got to get up out of this community.
So more so, like I said, the unrealism and the guys that go around and it just at a certain point, some people are just attacking women. There's a difference between having a problem with what women do and flat out attacking women for existing. I disagree with there's a lot of red pill extremists that go a little bit too far, and like a girl can breathe and they can be like, oh, that's hypergamy. You breathe to the left, you're hypergamous, you're a gold digger. I'm like, how could you possibly come to that conclusion? But when I saw, and I'm gonna shout him out on this, I'm sure y'all are aware, it was a black, he makes really good content. If y'all haven't seen him, check out Black Wheat Waffles. And for me, I'm a logical guy. Like I'm analytical. That's why my content, I like to use graphs and stuff. And the way he broke it down made a lot more sense because when I was doing the red pill thing, a lot of stuff wasn't adding up. It almost felt like I was playing a character, you know? So I was like, I'm trying to be this nonchalant, listen to what these guys say. I'm trying to be this nonchalant stuff. Okay, let me put this to the side. Let me pick up the black pill and just be myself and understand where it looks, you know, puts you in the dating market and go from there. And from the two experiences, it's felt a lot better because I just felt like I've been able to be myself. Like I don't sit here and say, if I get a text message from a girl and I think she's attractive, I'm going to text her right back. Who's going to sit here and wait 2 to 3 hours to text a girl back just to show that you're different? I feel like if you listen to that, you could be selling the bag with a lot of women when you would have just been straight up just being yourself. You'd have been good just being yourself. That was my biggest thing, is the whole character aspect of it. Like intentionally not texting a girl back or, you know, getting her number and not setting up a date until a week later. It's just really, it seemed a little bit too strategic.
Yeah, it was like you and that, like a lot of them preach like, oh, you don't care, like you should never care, but like in a way it's like you care too much type shit. You feel me? Like you should, like you said, you should always just be like, just a lot of people hear like be yourself and be whatever and like twist it and like think it's like, oh, it's blue pill, da, da, da. But whenever I hear be yourself, it's just be real. Like just be upfront, be honest. Like women appreciate, and not even women, just everybody appreciate realness and transparent honesty, bro. Like just keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you don't have to wait 2-3 hours just to text somebody. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like middle school shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like how old are we? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you're doing that's like you can't respond 5 hours. You know, it's a waste of time at that point. It's way easier to just keep it a buck, be upfront, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So, man. But what you said about hating women and shit, that was really the reason why it was hate, like the negative, like people just hating women. And at that point, I was like, bro, like if you in a community like this and you talking about how bad women, how evil they are, it's like, are y'all like straight? You know what I'm saying? Like, are y'all cool? You know, it gave me, I don't have any qualms. I don't have any problems with the LGBTQ community. Let me just say that up front. Like, you know, I don't have any problem. But if I'm being real, if I'm being honest, it was like, bro, like, are y'all gay? Like, are y'all good? You know what I'm saying? We don't hate women. We're not trying to hate women around here. You know what I'm saying? It was lame. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. Honestly, that's a vibe. And shout out to you, like, you know, you broke down the difference between like most people in the black pill community and the doomers. But that's the vibe I get whenever I hear black pill, anything associated with black pill. The first thing I think about in my head is, oh, they hate women. oh, they not trying to do whatever. They not trying to improve. They don't like women. They just gay over there. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's what a lot of people, think. Like what you said about wheat waffles. I've never watched his content. I've heard about him. I haven't heard good things. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why I brought you on here to really clear it up. So,
I always say, to piggyback off of what you were saying, is when you were saying, like, we were talking about the doomers hate women, the difference between them and, like, say, the red pill rage people is that doomers hate themselves. These are the guys, they don't hate women. It's sad, man. They just purely hate themselves. They look in the mirror and say, I'm not Chad. It's over. Like, they're disinterested with women because they don't even think they could be in the same room as women. It's crazy. So with the doomers, it's always a special. When I'm talking to a doomer, it's always like, first of all, there's so many guys. I get emails and they think they're sub fives, bro, and they look like us. Like, dude, you're not a sub five, bro. When we're talking sub five, we're talking about like an extreme facial deformity, obesity. Like, just because maybe you just haven't had the confidence or you haven't, been with a lot of women doesn't mean you're a sub five, man. You just got to put yourself out there. Like you were talking about, improve your social skills.
Yeah, exactly. And to improve your social skills, you got to talk to people. You got to get up in social environments. You got to go and talk to people. You got to introduce yourself. You feel me? You got to learn how to, you got to develop your charisma skills, because it's not something like, some more people are prone to, be born with it, whatever, but you got to develop it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be charismatic if you don't talk to people. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work like that.
But I wanted to throw in while you were saying that, I wanted to throw a quick tip to everybody that's listening as far as social skills. If you're struggling with your social skills, it's helped me. Go to a bar and a club by yourself. Don't go over there to get women. Just go over there by yourself. If you see, whether it's a man or a woman in the bar, strike conversation, make new friends. When I first got on my single journey and I started doing that, I made plenty of cool connections, and it upped my social confidence just by going up to random strangers and just holding a conversation. I always think of it like this. We ain't got nothing to lose, but we only got one life to live. So if you can try to improve something every day, put yourself out. I know it's nervous. You're going to get them butterflies, but after you do it, I promise it's going to help your social skills a lot.
Exactly, bro. And this is the thing for everybody that's in here. Exactly like what you say. If you got a job, especially if you have a job and, you're seeing a lot of people, different people every day, bro. Every person that you see, every person that come across, if somebody asks you for help or something, just spark up a conversation. Every person you come across, just be like, and it doesn't have to be this whole deep existential conversation. You'd be like, oh, hey, how you doing? How's your day today? Whatever. And they're usually going to say something back. And then you just ask a question. That's another thing. Just ask people questions. People love talking about themselves, right? And the more you get, the more you hear them talk about themselves, you just ask more questions. You know what I'm saying? If they say this, ask a question about that, ask a question. And then they're going to open up more to you, and they're going to feel like, oh, I can trust this person. I can feel safe around this person. The more people open up to you, that's how you know you not, I don't want to say you got them, because that sounds weird, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I get you.
Ask questions. People love to talk about themselves. Just keep, especially with women too. There's another dating tip. Just ask a girl questions. You know what I'm saying? She gonna talk. Just ask her questions, bro. That's all you gotta do. You don't even gotta talk. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to say a word. Just ask questions. So
he's spitting facts on that one. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. So this girl's survival needs is not getting laid like men. They have problems finding quality guys. Unlike girls, guys can increase their attraction through learning how to talk to women. The only thing that repels women is fear, insecurity, meekness, being desired only for sex, and shyness. That's facts. They're attracted to emotions, not logical net worth. Even if you are rich, you can still get women to sleep with you without them knowing your net worth. Immerse confidence, not caring about rejection. Social skills are everything. No mistake, red and black pill ideology gained popularity during pandemic. So that was a lot. What do you think? Shout out to Amanda. What do you think about was there any like particular comment that stood out to you when you were reading that?
I was gonna say I was trying to follow along with it, but can we get let me get that again.
Yeah.
Even if you're Richie, not caring about women. There's one thing that she said that about women being like right now afraid to get with men because they don't want to be used for sex. And I'd say
Oh yeah. This one,
I
right?
wanted to piggyback on that. Like I said, I have no bone to pick. So I agree with you. It's just when I talk about the black pill, as bad as it is for us with women, I would argue it's worse. You know, it's worse in their favor when they're trying to find a guy, because we've been upfront about this from the beginning. We just trying to smash, and we'll do anything. We've proven that we're scumbags and we don't care. You know, most guys will just do that without no conscience. So for her, I would definitely say, man, when you're dealing with these men, vet that guy out. Go on his Instagram, look at his TikTok, look at what he's saying, look at what he's doing. I always say you can kind of look at a guy and get what type of vibe you're gonna get from him. I always say go for conservative guys. You know, that's not super materialistic. Maybe guys that don't have that big of a social media presence and that's still in touch with the world and not necessarily trying to chase the badder thing. But I think you have a better opportunity trying to find a good guy these days because there's so many of them. Send me your email. I'll shoot you a whole bunch of guys that are on my channel that are in my emails that are good, upstanding guys. That's all I get, emails from good guys. They're everywhere. We struggle in finding the girls that's looking, that's trying to be the girls for us so we can get in relationships without feeling like, hey, we're going to get cheated on. So I think, just keep those standards high. Don't settle for nothing. And I swear there are so many good guys just begging to find just one unicorn that they can spend their whole life with and, treat them like a queen. There's a lot of good guys out here. So I say the hope is there.
For sure. And piggyback off what you said about, guys trying to find women. And let me, I'm sure you already know this. I'm sure this is something you've already talked about in the past, but you guys got to be aware, especially guys in the red pill, guys that listen to Fresh and Fit and all these people, is that, bro, not all women are created the same. You know what I'm saying? Not all women are, on dating apps. Not all women do all this, whatever. You got to think about it, bro. You got to be conscious not to just generalize everything, which is, a lot of people can fall victim to that because people come from different backgrounds. You don't know where, this girl came from. It's a lot more common to find somebody that's on a dating app, somebody that's on a 304, right, in Miami than fucking Iowa or some shit. You know what I'm saying? It's y'all guys gotta be conscious and be aware that, you know what I'm saying, these girls that you hear Fresh and Fit, all these dating coaches talking about, it's really a small fraction, not even small. I'll say it's not the whole piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? It's not the whole pie. It's only a small fraction. It's only a small sliver of the pie. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
it's you gotta be really careful with, saying, oh, all girls are this, all girls are that, because that's a mistake that I made. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why I escaped the red pill, because I was listening to all these guys talking about girls that didn't, you know what I'm saying? I was dealing with this one girl. She wasn't like anything these dudes were talking about. And I was trying to treat her and use these strategies from, all these dating coaches, whatever, on her. And then she was like, oh, that's not you. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's not you. And it made me realize, what am I doing? What am I listening to? You feel me? So
same here. I'm right there with you. Like you said, I was generating another character too. And I was like, come on, dog. Like you said, this ain't even you, bro. It's just better to just be yourself. And because I've been being myself, it's been great, man. It's been my dating experience. My dating experience has jumped to the next level. When I just started being myself, if I'm feeling you, I'm gonna hit you up same day. If I'm feeling you, I'm gonna text you back right away. And no girl has ever told me you texted back too fast. You lame. Never.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly, bro. Literally. Well, it's so important men learn game. They need to get laid, talk to 30 women one night, get one to sleep with you, develop connection, deep bond if you want to avoid friend zone. Shit, what you think?
Game is so this sounds to me like the numbers game. Get your game. Now, I say I'm against the numbers game, but I'll encourage the numbers game if you're trying to build your social skills. So if you're trying to get stronger, say you're just completely nervous and shy, you can't just be nervous and shy and just be nonchalant with women and go that approach. You have to get in the field, see what it's like, or you're just going to get nervous every time. So this is the only time in practice when you're going from ground zero, trying to work your way up, do the numbers game. But once you got your game down, you get the base level of game, you get the fundamentals down, then I recommend doing some type of warm approach and not necessarily be in the numbers game, whether that be at work or a social club or somewhere with common ground, just to get your feet wet. I'm the type of guy that always likes a strategical approach. If I'm going to do this, I'm putting myself out here. I want to put myself in the best position to succeed. So that means just a warm setting where it doesn't look like a used car salesman trying to pitch something. Girl, a lot of these girls go to the clubs and bars literally to spend time with their friends. There's a lot of women that really don't go to clubs to look for men. So when you're over there marching your way over there, yeah, they'll let you buy that drink, but they're going to dismiss you right after. So I would only agree with this if you're just trying to build your social skills. If you're trying to build your game up, go for the numbers game. Once you get it, go ahead and put that down, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. And one thing I see, I'm glad that you mentioned that. I'm glad you say that because another thing that I see in the black pill community are just guys that are too far gone is like, oh, like, you know, women that go to clubs, they're trash, they're 304s, whatever. And I'm like, bro, like you gotta realize, like exactly like what you said, like a lot of women that go to clubs, go whatever, they just, you know, they just want to have a good time. It's not to, you know, be a hoe, it's not to do all this other shit. It's just to, you know, they go with their friends just to have a good time type shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just can't keep generalizing women. Cause one thing that, especially for dudes that's trying to, you know, you trying to attract women, you try whatever, bro. The number one thing that repels women, my opinion, is just bitterness, bro. Like if you just bitter about the world, if you just, you know, people can smell that, not only women, bro, but like if you just down all the time, if you gloomy, you like, oh, you just bitter, like, bro, people don't fuck with that at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially women, bro. It's just a vibe killer. And nobody likes that, especially women, because, you know, they pick up on vibes a lot quicker than dudes do. So, man.
And also, I want to piggyback and say that that's the number one way. If you're a content creator, any guy over here wants to jump into the dating scene, attacking women is the number one way to get canceled. You look at guys like Andrew Tate, you look at, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Look at what women did after he passed. You get what I'm saying? Not to bring that up. That's just sad. But that was a result of how many times he got on camera and bashed women straight to their face. You never want to come after women, LGBT. This is a tip. Social media, leave women alone. Just if you really care about men, if you really want men to change, then just focus on men. Maybe make a side comment here, a side comment there. But the whole bashing, they're all 304s. My boy, when they get together, they could take down your social media faster than the Flash can get to New York City. You get what I'm saying? You can't. You better stop talking about women. That's why on my content, I always, like, even on the stream, when I speak about women, I respect them. I got a daughter. I got a mama. I got sisters. I'm not finna get on here and make it seem like every girl is like that, because you got mamas too. You got to remember that. People got to remember that when we criticizing women, we can't just ignore the women we love too. They're in that equation too. What about them? You know, you can't just say that all girls are 304 except for my mama, my sister, and my. No, you can't have it both ways. It's either one or the other. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Exactly. Nah, a lot of people need to hear that. That's so true, because, you know, you hear guys like Andrew Tate or whatever, who I think is a really funny dude. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I listen to him or I take his advice or whatever. I think the dude is really funny, entertaining. But, like, you know, what would your mom think about you saying this shit? What would your sister, what would your future daughter think about, you know, if she shows her dad and, you know, he's saying all this stuff? Like, bro, you got a daughter, you're down. So, you feel me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just, you know, W comments, bro. That shit was facts. Everything.
Yeah, and even to piggyback on Andrew Tate, people always ask me opinion on Andrew Tate. I always say, when it comes to status maxing, this is where I take Andrew Tate for an example, because this guy went from nobody to somebody in the course of a few months. But people have to understand that in order to do it that fast, you have to play a character. If you ever see this guy off camera and you see the way he talks in his cadence, you could tell if you in social media like you and me, you know when someone's playing a character.
Exactly.
And I think some people forget that sometimes, you know, that someone's playing a character, and outlandish stuff that he says in character form. They actually try to do it in real life. You got to know the difference between character statements. Like if he obviously says, well, yeah, if I'm rich, I'm going to cheat on my wife and she's going to sit there and make me sandwiches. I don't think he really means that. I think that's just for shock value. But I think there may be underlying messages that he's saying in between. Like I remember he said something that stuck with me to this day about discipline, how the theory of motivation is more so just like, yeah, you could get motivated. Forget about motivation. It's discipline. It's like with this YouTube, you get up, you edit your videos, you do your thumbnails. You don't get motivated. That's that discipline. You discipline and you doing that every day. So that's one quote that I like from him, was that, you know, discipline over motivation. When I've applied that and been disciplined, like YouTube, I think I'm about to be on my 85th video pretty soon. I've only been on YouTube for like 3 months, going on 4 months. So for me, that stuck with me as far as discipline.
Hell yeah. And I think that's what you said was so facts. You know, ever since I started doing YouTube and, you know, I'm like watching other people from like the perspective of a creator, you know what I'm saying? Especially during the rise of Andrew Tate, bro, first thing I said whenever I was watching a couple of his videos, like, bro, this dude is funny as hell. He like obviously he's playing character. Like obviously he doesn't like mean like what he's saying 100%. But you got these dudes that just eating it up. They're like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Like they really applying the shit to real life. You know what I'm saying? And and it's so like it's funny, but it's dangerous at the same time.
It is.
This dude over here talking about like, oh, like if my son was a nerd, like we're gonna have a fight to the death. Like, bro, like you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this dude is obviously like a character, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you said, like, you know, watching him, like, you know, whenever he's not in front of a camera or whatever, like the dude, like, you know, he seems like a regular guy, doesn't really talk that much, you know what I'm saying? So it's just for everybody that's, you know, sitting here, you watching, whatever, you gotta take everything, especially on the internet, with a grain of salt. Like me, like we on here, like we spitting game, whatever. If what we saying doesn't apply to you, bro, don't take it. And this is one thing I wish I learned like a year ago. And, you know, whenever I was going through that red pill phase or whatever, I was trying to apply every single thing they were saying, even if it didn't apply to my life. And I was just trying to take it and just apply it. And it didn't work in my life. You know, that's what fucked me up. It didn't work. So if I'm saying shit and you don't like it, it doesn't relate to you, don't apply it. Just don't take it.
You know I agree with you 100%. I actually wanted to ask you something because it was something that I've been like thinking about. And I wanted to ask you, as far as like relationship goes, would you advise guys in our age group, say 18 through 29, to try a long-term relationship, as far as like before you get, because I see so many guys that get in these long terms before they establish themselves and end up throwing themselves in the matrix, in the sense that, well, now you got her pregnant, now you got a girlfriend, you got a kid, you can't necessarily go for that career that you wanted to go to or reach the top. I usually tell guys to try to at least get your foot in the door in your respective career before you try to take on that load of basically a forever relationship, you know, lead to marriage and have kids. I wanted to know what you thought about that.
Man, live your life, bro. Live your life. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're young, bro. Like, you need to take your career or whatever you want to do. Live your life first. Do that first. You know what I'm saying? Women, marriage, children, that can happen later. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have the opportunity to do that once you do have real responsibilities. So do what you have to do first. Go after your dreams first. Because once you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, once you have real responsibilities, you can still get to that dream. It's just going to be way harder because you got people relying on you now. You know what I'm saying? It's not impossible. You just have people relying on you. When you single, if you don't have any kids, whatever, use all the shit you got to go chase that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to rush into getting married. You don't have to rush into anything. Do what you got to do first.
I agree. I'm right there. I'm right there with you 100%. I've seen so many guys that have so much potential and, you know, kind of chose a relationship over their career. So if there's anything I can stress in this video, you know, all pills aside, is before you decide to be a young dude and get in a long-term relationship, evaluate your career, your financial status, and where you want to be, and kind of get there first. I always look up to guys like Kai Cenat, you know, and Aiden, those guys that waited and then got in a relationship, as opposed to getting a relationship first and then trying to go on that grind. That's one mistake that I made. And now that I'm single now, I'm like, I see the light. So I always tell my guys that, you know, that are trying to do something, focus on you first. And then, you know, obviously you could still date around while you're doing that. But I'm saying as far as, you know, locking in and talking about marriage, kids, you know, patience is a virtue. So.
Yeah. Especially, you know, whenever I did have TikTok for a little bit, I saw a TikTok, this dude, he was talking about, he's retired. I don't know if you know him. His name is Frank. How do you say his last name? Frank New. It's like an Asian dude. He talks about financial shit and whatever, but he was talking about how he's 30, he's retired, you know, millions of dollars, whatever. And he was talking about how a bunch of the guys he knew, his friends, they all got married at like 21, 22, 23. A lot of them are divorced now and don't want to put themselves back out, all because they got married too early. You know what I'm saying? They got committed too early, you know? Now, if this is something you want to do, go ahead, do it. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to it and if you listen to us and you got somebody, whatever, go ahead, do it. But I'm just saying, it's like, what are you losing by, you know, waiting a little bit? Like, what are you losing out on? Like, think about that. Like, what's the worst that could happen by waiting to like later on in your 20s or early 30s, whatever? Like, what really is the worst that could happen? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Especially with that, that's a huge decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's sharing your life with somebody.
Right. Your prime, to be specific.
Exactly.
Our 20s is our prime. And that's one thing I was evaluating too when I was single. Is like, you know, I'm 25, so I was like, all right, so I'm midway through my 20s. Like, I'm not finna burn these last 5 of my prime, you know, in a relationship. I'm about to do me. I'm finna try to status max, money max, looks max. I'm about to get on that. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because we only get one prime. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
guys think that this youth shit lasts forever. It
Mm-hmm.
don't, man. You wake up one day, you 30. So you
That's
gotta,
facts.
them 20s is, this is when you got the most energy. This is where your muscles have the best capacity for muscle growth. Your 20s is your time to explode and be patient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's a process, especially if if you grind every day, you got to know that shit's not going to happen, overnight. You know what I'm saying? It's a process, it's a grind, years. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to feel like like I was saying earlier, social media makes it feel like you got to do shit like right now, you got to be rich tomorrow, you got to do shit tomorrow. You should understand that you do have more time than you think you do, but you at the same time you don't, because time is ticking, seconds are going, every day it's flying, weeks are flying. So just be aware that, what I'm saying, you have time, but don't sit on your ass.
Right.
You don't have time at the same time. You feel me? So, and especially you never know when, God forbid, you could go tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Every day is a blessing. So, one thing, way I like to look at it is, when you wake up, that's your blessing from God. When you go to sleep, what you did with that day, that's your gift back to him. You know what I'm saying? So what you did with your day, whatever you got to the bag, you're productive. That's what you show God, like, this is what I did with the extra day that you gave me. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
exactly. Let me ask you this, kind of shifting away from red pill, black pill for a second. But for anybody that's in here, even including me, for guys that's trying to, grind, get bigger on social media, get blow up. You know what I'm saying? What are 5 tips, 3 to 5 tips that you would give guys trying to grow their social media?
Okay, so if you're trying to grow your social media, obviously I'd say first you got to come up with a strategy. Like don't just go like I'm gonna just go start posting videos. All right, what's gonna be my niche? What's gonna be my channel name? Let me get this banner. How can I create these thumbnails? Like get your plan first. Get your plan in order. Once you get your strategy and stuff like that, I'd say the next biggest thing that I would say is repetition and discipline, because it's easy to go post videos. And if you're talking about YouTube, you have to have the ultimate level of discipline. I'm talking about not getting on YouTube for like 2 weeks or a month or something like that. That can severely hurt your analytics and stop the progress of your channel. So you have to basically, I'd say, make a commitment. Number 2, plan, then commit to it and say, I'm gonna post videos for a year, whether they get 0 likes or they get 100,000 likes. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then thirdly, I would definitely say to have the mindset, like you said, it ain't gonna happen overnight. Automatically put in your head 2 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Stop thinking you're not going to be an overnight sensation. I know people see somebody like I Show Speed and they think, oh, I'm about to be the next Speed. I'm gonna just game, man. Those are anomalies, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take it slow. Patience is a virtue. So I would say come up with a plan, be committed to it, and be patient. And I think that anybody, because think about it, bro, there's DIY channels on YouTube that's making bed frames getting millions of views.
Exactly.
Or toy reviews. There's a niche for everybody, man.
Exactly. And give me 1 second. I'll be right back. But yeah, when I get back, I'm gonna get my own game. But yeah, that's facts.
Okay,
Everybody that
bet
was
that.
just in here, if you trying to be a content creator, go ahead and screen record that whole little bit. But I'll be back in 2 minutes.
All right, bet. I'll go tap out too while you do that.
All right.
All
So
right.
to piggyback off what you said, shout out my guy CG, first of all. Shout out my man CG. What you were saying about building social media. I'll say this. Like you said, it's not something that happens overnight. Like you said, 2 to 5 years. I say for me personally, something I've been thinking about to, think about in long term. I say 2 to 7 years, 2 to 8 years. You
Okay.
know, either way, it's not overnight. It's not overnight success thing. You know what I'm saying? So for guys, you trying to start social media, you trying to start YouTube, whatever, it's best to start today. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not gonna
Oh yeah.
most guys, you're not gonna blow up tomorrow anyway. So start as soon as you can. If you having doubts about what you want to post, what type of niche you want to get into, it's gonna figure itself out as soon as you just put content out. Your first videos are gonna be trash. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're gonna be trash. So
Thumbnails too.
yeah, you don't know what you're doing at that point. They're gonna be trash. So just at least put some content out there to prove to yourself that you can do it, right? So I'd say, think about it as long term. And some game that I had got put on recently, build a community. You know what I'm saying? You're making videos, you're making content, whatever, for the wide, broad audience, that's called the internet. So these people that do come to your videos, that find your videos, subscribe to your channel, man, really build a community, because those guys, they're gonna be the guys that keep coming back to your page. They comment, they like, they're gonna share to other people. You got to build that community. Have a group of people that feel like they're connected with other groups of people that watch your channel. You know what I'm saying? So build that community. If you look at all the top YouTubers, all top streamers, whatever, they have community. What do they call them? Like, for example, if you in the self-improvement community, Hamza, the Cult, or think of a little, just catchy name for your community so they can feel, a part of something. So community, like you said, you got to have a plan. You can't just come in here just posting videos just to post videos. You got to have a plan. A part of that plan is, posting consistently, having set specific topics you want to talk about in a video. It sounds super basic and simple, but it's the truth. You can't just turn on camera, start rambling about whatever. You know what I'm saying? People, there's attention spans. People can click on a video, they see you not really talking about anything for 5 seconds and click off. So not only do you have a topic, you gotta get to what you talking about like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's 2022, bro. People's attention spans are fried. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you throw TikTok on top of that, with the 6 second thing, and they try to go over to YouTube. The attention span is even, to grab somebody in. And I want to piggyback off what you said too, because you were saying start today. And I wanted to say definitely, if you have a cell phone, start today, because I use my iPhone for all my editing, my thumbnails. I'm working on getting a PC right now, but if you go to my YouTube channel, you see all my videos from thumbnail to intro to everything. The editing is all on my phone. So if you got this, like, iPhone is basically a mini computer. So if you got an iPhone, even a high-paced Android, go ahead and make them videos, dog. You don't need to have, a lot of guys think you need to have that $1,000 equipment and stuff like that. Man, I got my phone, I got this mic, I got my little stand, and we gonna get it popping. We gonna get it rocking. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's facts. You don't need all this, because especially if you have an iPhone, a pretty recent iPhone, it's like it's almost, if not, it's at that level of $1,000 camera. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you don't really need much. I'm streaming off of my laptop. It's not like it's this super crazy setup or anything. It's literally just my laptop and a lamp right here. So yeah, start today. It doesn't. That's a misconception I had whenever I was trying to start making videos. I had to have this camera. Whenever you do get to a certain point, then you can start upping your quality little by little, but you don't have to just come in the game, everything set, because most of the time you're not even gonna really know how to work all of that until you start making the videos, until you start getting used to the shit you're doing. And yeah, so start today, because like we was talking about earlier, time isn't our friend. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You don't really know how much time you really have. So why not start today? So what's y'all's opinion on the TikTok pretty boys?
I think if you want to go first, you can, or I can hop on that.
I'm gonna say this. I don't really be on TikTok that much. So I'm not gonna speak on something I don't really know about. So do you know what bro talking about?
Yeah, because I'm
You
tapped in.
feel me?
I have a TikTok channel too that
Uh-huh.
I be on a lot. That's where I do most of my black pill content is on TikTok. My YouTube channel I do more so of reaction videos just with the black pill commentary. So more
Mm-hmm.
so I'm tapped into TikTok, and I can say that they definitely have a place in the dating market. There's so many guys that think, well, these bulky alpha giga chad guys will easily win over a skinny pretty boy with no muscles, and that's just up to the preference of the woman. Because I've seen
That's
plenty of women,
facts.
if
Yeah.
she either likes one or the other. But I'm telling you, there is a niche of women that do like pretty boys, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
niche of women who like the lumberjack, muscular looking guys. But don't try to write
Mm-hmm.
the pretty boys off, because there are women that like pretty boys. You look at guys like Kelly Oubre, for example. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? The girls like that too.
Yeah.
I don't like it when guys try to diminish the pretty boys and make it seem like they have no place in the market. Oh, they definitely do. I
Yeah,
think.
I'll say this. Yeah, like you said, preference, bro. It's all preference. It's all women's preference, bro. I promise you, there's a group of women, whatever, that don't like how I look or don't like how lean looks or whatever. It doesn't mean that we're not good looking dudes. It's just okay. That's just not your cup of tea. You feel me? It's just preference. It's just whatever. It's just taste. So that's another thing, bro. Like a lot of people in the self improvement community, they lift in weights, they doing whatever, they're whatever. Y'all gotta understand and realize that just because you lift, just because you look a certain way, doesn't mean all women just gonna fuck with you. You feel me? There's women that don't like dudes that work out, and that's okay. There's women that don't like dudes that have long hair or whatever. That's okay. Y'all gotta, part of that is just accepting that, and knowing that you're not all women are gonna find you attractive, and that's okay. As long as you keep doing what you're doing, you keep improving yourself, you keep improving your looks. You know what I'm saying? Your finances, all that. You're gonna be straight, bro. You're gonna be good, bro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, if you just cold approach or you go up to a girl, whatever, and you consider yourself a good looking dude and she don't give you the number or whatever, it's a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, it's nothing on you. You know what I'm saying? It's not anything you did. It's just you either caught her at a bad time or you just not her type. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it pushing. So yeah, that's a huge thing that you said. It's just preference, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Preference. That was a good question too, by the way. That was a really good
There's
question.
definitely a place for you know what I'm saying, pretty boys, even the dad bods or whatever. I got some friends that are frat boys, or they got dad bods or whatever. They pull. And shouts out to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just whatever. It's preference. You can't just think because you big or whatever that you just gonna get. It doesn't work like that. You feel me? So
Right. I agree with that.
exactly. Shit. Well, let me see if we got any other comments. Anything. If we don't have anything else, I think this was a good stream. We could wrap it up here, unless you have any more questions or points you want to talk about.
Oh, nope, not at all, man. It's been one hell of a stream, man. I really appreciate you inviting me on, man. If Rockstar Gang is in here, I
For
appreciate y'all for
sure,
tuning
Rockstar
in.
Game. Yeah.
We will be coming in. We coming in hot. The Black Pill's coming. You get what I'm saying? Make sure you tap in with my boy, too. He's a great host, and he's on the rise as well. You get what
Yes,
I'm saying?
sir. I appreciate that. Or shit. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put all your TikTok, YouTube, whatever in the comments, in the description, Instagram, anywhere we can catch you at. I'm gonna make sure it's in the description. Make sure you plugged everywhere. Everybody is in here. Thank y'all for coming in here, leaving comments, leaving questions. Make sure you like, you comment, subscribe to not only me, but my boy Lean. You know what I'm saying? We about to take over. We about to be very big in the next whatever 5 years, 5
Yes,
months, 5
sir.
days, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you keep on the lookout for us. And without further ado, we finna get up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all again.
All right.
And
I appreciate
till
you,
the
too, bro.
next one.
I'll hit you with that text, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have a